So hello everyone, today we're going to talk about an intelligent chatbot application that will manage the portfolio of a stockbroker. For building this intelligent chatbot, we are going to use the generative AI framework called as Bedrock from the AWS cloud. Before going into the practical implementation, let's try to understand the architecture of AWS Bedrock. So this is the architecture of AWS Bedrock. There are a lot of components like embeddings model and vector database and foundation model. So these three are very important components in AWS Bedrock. The AWS Bedrock can take different types of inputs like PDF files. It can also fetch the data from the web. It can also fetch the data from the Salesforce application and SharePoint and Confluence. So basically, the Bedrock can take the data from a wide range of applications. If the PDF files are fed to the Bedrock, these PDF files will be converted into the vectors. This embedding model converts the text into the vectors format. Once the vectors are available, those vectors will be fed into the vector database. So in this project, we're going to fetch the data from the stockbroker website, load the data into the vector database in the form of vectors. The website data will be fed into this embedding model. So there are different types of vector database that are available inside and outside of AWS. There are a few databases like DynamoDB and Aurora and OpenSearch service. These are the different types of DBs that are available in AWS. And there are external DBs like FAIS database as well. We can use any type of vector database, and this vector database will store the vectors that is extracted from the web crawling. Once the vectors are available in the vector database, whenever a client or whenever a user comes and asks a question saying that what is the stock price of Reliance Industries, then so the foundation model is going to look into the vector database and it will fetch the relevant information from the vector database. So in short, the embeddings model is going to convert the text into the vectors, and these vectors are stored in the vector database. In this project, we're going to use open source service. So this is a serverless DB. So whenever a client or a user asks for the information regarding the stocks, this foundation model is going to look into the vector database, reveal the information and send the response to the chatbot application. So this is how the whole architecture works. This is a straight architecture. We can also build an agentic AI framework. So we can use a multi-agent framework, use different types of foundation models for performing the task. But that will be another project for another day. So let's look into the practical implementation. So now we are working on Amazon Bedrock. So Amazon Bedrock is a service which helps you to work on the generative AI test cases. In this scenario, we're trying to build a chatbot. Let's scroll down and see. So this web crawler is fetching the data from the angel1.in stocks portfolio. So all the data will be fetched and stored inside the knowledge base database in the vectors format. So we don't store the data in text format inside the knowledge base database, but we store the data in the vector format. So, and whenever a query is fired to this application, the vectors that are present inside this knowledge base database will be converted into the text format, and it will pop up as the answers for the given question. So let's try to see how it's going to work. Before using the application, let's sync the data. So sync will basically fetch the data and convert the data into the vectors format. So it may take some time for the data to convert from text to vectors format. So let me tell you one more thing. So, and this vector, it's not a 2D vector or a 3D vector. When you see here, the vector dimensions used inside this embedding models is 1024 dimensions. A cosine similarity is checked for all the words that are saved inside the database. Okay, as you can see, the embeddings model that we have used in creating the vector database is embed English v3. Okay, so this is the embedding model that we are using for converting the text to the vector format. So let's go back and check. Sync is done. No, so it's still happening. So let's scroll down and look into other parameters. Each and every word will be given some weightage, and there will be a certain set of parameters based on which embedding model is created. And this embeddings model has got 1024 dimensions. So in Amazon, we've got another embeddings model called as Titan embeddings. There is another embeddings model called as Titan multimodal embeddings. So there are a lot of embeddings that are available. So what are embeddings? So embeddings are nothing but it's a model that converts the text format to the vectors, and that vectors will be the numerical vectors. And how are they converted? Based on the cosine similarity. So as the sync is progressing, so all the data from this particular website will be pulled, and it will be converted into the vectors format and stored inside this vector database. And the database that we are using is the Amazon OpenSearch serverless vector database. And why are we using this database? Because all the values, all the vectors that are converted here should be stored in some database. So we've got a wide range of databases that are available inside Amazon. You can also use Aurora database, you can use Dynamo database, but in this case we are using the OpenSearch serverless database. Just to make this a cost efficient project, we are using the OpenSearch serverless database, and this is the collection endpoint that we're going to be using. So once this is done, let's check the answers. The last sync happened at February 9th, 2:44 a.m. So now the time is 2:44 a.m. So let's test our model. Sync is done, sync is completed. So the embeddings are available now, and let's test the bot. So I want to use the model which is using very less tokens. Let's go with Titan Text G1 Lite model. The stock value of Reliance Industries. Wow, this is real interesting now. So when I just typed stocks, it says that too many tokens, but when I type the question saying that what is the stock value of Reliance Industries, it says it is giving the value. So basically what is it doing is it is fetching the data from the website that I have provided. Few more questions. What is the market cap of ITC Limited? Let's look at the details. So when I click on show details, so it is showing me the actual source from which is pulling the data. What is the stock value of Infosys? Okay, it gave me with the answer. Okay, it says 1903.6y. Okay, let's ask some more generic questions. Okay, what is Angel 1? What is Angel 1? So it says that Angel 1 website does not seem to list a single stock price. It is a platform that allows users to invest in and trade various stocks, mutual funds. Okay, let's ask some more questions. Okay, is it profitable to invest in stocks or mutual funds? So let's see the answer. What is it saying? Okay, I asked the question, is it profitable to invest in stocks or mutual funds? Your request rate is too high. Reduce the frequency of requests. Okay. So let's ask another question. What will be the forecasted stock price of Reliance for the next week? Let's say for the next week. For next week, okay, it's a typo error. Okay, it does not have any value. So basically what is it doing is just looking at the data and trying to read the data. So let's come up with the next question. Okay, let's ask about Tesla. Okay, what is the stock price of Tesla? Okay, it do not have the information because I have not trained this model with the data of US stocks. So let's ask another question. What is the stock price of Apple? We do not have the information. Let's check another one. What is the stock price of Larsen and Toubro Limited? Let's check that. What is the stock price of Larsen and Toubro Limited? Stock price of Larsen and Toubro Limited. So let's check if we're going to get right. So it is showing us the values. So guys, yeah, that's all for today. So in this way, we can fetch the data from any particular website. You need to make sure that the tokens are not going beyond the limit. So all the values that are shown here in the chatbot are pulled from the website. So yeah, this is how it works. All the data that is present in this website is pulled and stored in the form of vectors inside the knowledge base. And what is the format that we have used? So all the values will be in the vector format, in the form of vectors, and those vectors are converted into the text format and shown on the chatbot window. Thank you guys for your time.